A 2-year-old by the name of Alexandria Hill was found with severe brain injuries and head injuries after it was discovered that her foster mom took her and literally threw her to the ground. And when you really delve into the story, you find out that this little girl was taken away from her parents for 2 different reasons. First reason was because her father admitted to smoking marijuana while she would sleep. Second reason is the mother suffers from seizures, and a doctor had written a note indicating that the little girl was not allowed to be alone with the mother. So based on those 2 things, Child Protective Services in Texas determined that these parents might not be suitable to be the primary caretakers of the little girl. So they took the little girl out of their custody and placed her in foster care. Now, in Texas, Child Protective Services has a third party that does background checks on potential foster parents, but unfortunately, the woman who took care of this little girl, her name is Cheryl Small, apparently had a history with foster kids in the past. Like, she had this one child who had bruises. They had to investigate her, and then later they found, okay, well, maybe she's not abusing her, there's no big deal, but that should have been a red flag. Anyway, so this little girl suffered a coma. She had to be taken off life support, and she died as a result of the injuries while she was in foster care.
Yeah. Now, look, Child Protective Services, they're not perfect. And should they have done a better job of the background check on this woman? Probably so. And should they have taken the kid away? Based on the facts that we see here, we don't think so. Now, the dad did agree to let them take the kid, but that could have very well been part of a agreement. Well, look, if you don't do that, then you're never going to see your kid again. But if you do, and you do the right things, then maybe we can give the kid back to you in a certain number of years. So I'm sure there are other factors here. My main issue isn't with Child Protective Services. My main issue is with our insane laws on drugs.
No, Child Protective Services was doing what it is supposed to do under the law. The law in Texas states that marijuana is illegal. Texas is one of the states that is very, very strict on marijuana. And so they're just doing their jobs. They think, oh my God, this guy is smoking marijuana while their child is asleep. Never mind the fact that there are a number of parents who like to drink while their kids are asleep, but that's totally legal, that's totally fine. So they did what they were supposed to do. I wish that there was a more thorough background check, but that was a third party that should have been more attentive, I guess.
So look, the bottom line is we took the kid away, 2-year-old, precious little girl, and we took her away for no reason because of our insane drug laws. And think about this, Anna had made this point earlier off air. If he had been drinking all night, we wouldn't have taken the kids away, right? He could have had, because it's not illegal, right? I'm sure that there's a point in the drinking where, yes, the state would have said, okay, you're out of control, we got to protect the kid, right? But just because you smoke marijuana, they say, well, it's illegal, what are we going to do? We got to take the kid away. But no, you don't have to take the kid away. And the kid is sleeping, and obviously the dad cares so much. He saw that she had bruises with another foster family earlier, and he said, look, you're going to have to arrest me if you send her back to that foster family. Now, a lot of foster families are terrific, right? But a lot of foster families do it for the money. So they just get the kids, they got to get the money, and it's not their kids. If it was my child that was with a foster family and I saw bruises, oh my God, I would be in such a panic. And why did they take my kid away? Because you made the horrible mistake of smoking pot. Mm-hmm. And then throw her out to the ground. Of course, the woman in the beginning lied about how the girl got those injuries, but then they came to the conclusion that in fact she was lying and she had thrown the girl on the ground. She slips into a coma and then she dies 2 days later. It rips you apart. How stupid is our war on drugs? How long are we going to continue it? Do we have no sense whatsoever?